Fair, spoiler-free reviews of the newest films. Vaughn on Movies.
Clothing provided by MaryJanes.com. In the new thriller The American by music video director Anton Corbijn, George Clooney stars as Jack, or was it Edward, an American assassin hiding in Italy. While laying low in a small village, Edward betrays his killer instinct by bonding with a local priest, Paolo Bonacelli, and seeking the affection of Clara, a woman of the night played by Violante Placido. But wouldn't you know it, Edward's reputation has a funny way of catching up with him. This is actually one of the best films of the year.
The world's toughest movie critic.
The title may be unimaginative, but it's informative in the sense that it tells you Clooney is on the lam. Also strange is the fact that The American has the least American cinematic techniques of any film I've seen from Hollywood in a long time. If it wasn't for the familiar face of George, I could have sworn this was a European film, what with its slower pace, lack of cutting-edge technology, and understated screenplay. Unlike the movies you're accustomed to, a lot goes unsaid, but a trained viewer can pick up on the meaning of a particular conversation or action. For example, one of my favorite of such moments has Clooney revisiting a small town just to use the payphone, and without saying a word, it's clear why he does this. I said it has a slower pace, but The American is far from boring. It walks a fine line between showing the tedious, lonely, and heartless nature of being an assassin, while also delivering plenty of tension. This is one of the few recent films where, like an iceberg, there's more below the surface than there is above it. Unfortunately, there are some quirks that remind us this is made for American consumption. There's one particular scene where the writers try to draw an analogy to a famous spaghetti western by having Clooney watch it. Unfortunately, this is all ruined because a guy at the bar has to say the name of the movie for the sake of the audience. Realistically, I don't walk into Chili's to hear a guy at the bar say, ESPN, American. And before I give up my final score, I have to give a shout out to Righteous Brian for answering this week's Pop Quiz Hotshot Trivia question presented by RealVideoViews.com. Look for the questions on Twitter, Sundays, midnight Central Time. I can do without the butterfly symbolism, and though many of you will appreciate the voluptuous curves of Volante's body, I don't buy the dramatic necessity. And besides her naughty bits, there isn't a lot that's going to appeal to the average Joe. This is a low-key screenplay that does a proper job building suspense. I appreciate the change of pace, and I assume my viewers will also. I give The American 3.5 out of 4 stars. And I'll see you guys next time when I review Machete.